Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Ella. I'm your host, Daniela. And if you're new on this channel, we're all about success. We believe success isn't luck, it's all about strategy. Now, on today's episode, we have the amazing engineer Peter Edosomwan in the house. And today we'll be talking to us about, the under-discussed world of the aviation engineering. This is a profession, or should I say industry, that is not really discussed. I'm not even gonna lie. If I didn't know him, I probably wouldn't have understood, this industry or even have heard about this industry. So today we are going to throw in light into this industry, and I hope at the end of this section we would all understand aviation or aviation engineering as a whole. So pardon me as I read out his bio so we all have a little understanding about him. Now, engineer Peter Edosomwan is an aircraft maintenance engineer with over 17 years of experience. He has worked with several airlines along his journey, and today we'll be shedding light so we'd all understand this industry. So, without wasting much of our time, let's dive straight into our questions. So, before we do that, let's welcome our guest speaker. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Well, thank you for hosting me today. And indeed, I have always cherished this opportunity to have this time with you
Thank
to
you,
be
sir.
enlightened on aviation or aircraft maintenance as an industry.
Okay, so our first question. Sir, can you tell us, introduce yourself and tell us about your role as an aircraft maintenance engineer?
Yeah, I am engineer Peter Edosomwan, a licensed aircraft engineer. And for you to be licensed, you have to undergo series of trainings that will span through a period of 1 or 2 years, actually. And often we go to the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, Zaria. We call it NCAT, Zaria. I had my trainings there, like I said. And after the training, it was a rigorous one anyway. It was rigorous. I was called for orals. And after passing the orals, I had my license given to me. And immediately license was given to me. The practice starts immediately. But however, I have to say it categorically here that the moment you start working hands-on, you have to defend that license. And in defending the license, you have to work within the confines of the regulation. Yes, we have the Nigeria Civil Aviation Regulation. That's the rule that guides a licensed engineer or a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer. So any task you are given, you are expected to follow the rules. And whenever you go out or you default, as the case may be, the big arm of the law catches up with you as an engineer. And it is possible your license will be withdrawn. That is the height of it. So we are very careful as an aircraft maintenance engineer. I think I'll have to stop here. So
All
thank you.
right, thank you very much, sir. Like we've all heard, the name sounds very fancy and very big, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. Now, our second question, what motivated you to choose this career path?
Yeah, it was something that started at my little age, my childhood. I was fortunate to have an elder brother that studied welding technology. In the course of the work, he would always call me as if he knew what my tomorrow will become. You know, some people foresee. And because probably I was like committed, I will go with him whenever he's working. At times, when he's working, I tell him, get me this hacksaw. I want to do this. Cut your sheet meters. He will be wondering. But he gives it to me. And over time, I go out with him for installations of jobs completed. So that was where the love for maintenance started. From there, I just made up my mind that good, the best course to go for was mechanical engineering. And I got that as my first degree. Not satisfied. I just felt, well, the opportunity to study aircraft maintenance came, and I grabbed it because it's in line with mechanical, because it encompasses what? Engineering, maintenance engineering. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, a simple question. Do you think everyone should go through the same route of, going into studying mechanical engineering? Then, for those that want to, go into this field, do you think they could take the same route?
Okay. Thank you for that question. Everybody must not go through
Okay.
mechanical engineering. Yeah. As a school set holder, you can go straight. You go for your diploma. That takes, on the whole, about 2.5 years. Yes, but then you must have your maths, your physics, your chemistry, English.
Okay.
All right. Then I did a bridge because I studied mechanical before going.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it's an option that you have to choose. It's your choice.
Okay.
All right. As a graduate, you go for the abridged. Abridged is shorter. All right. Then for the school set holders, they stay longer. But at the end of the day, everybody comes out with a license. Thank you.
Thank you for shedding light on that.
Yeah.
Okay, for our next question, um, throughout your career, has it always been easy going, or have you experienced any setback? And if you have, what's that challenge that you've experienced that you'd love to share with us?
Thank you very much for that question. I believe everything in life has its own or comes with its own challenges. It hasn't been that rosy, it hasn't been that smooth. I'll cite an instance. I was fortunate to go on scholarship. Now, whenever you are in school, you undergo the classwork, practicals there. And once you finish your exams, immediately you are back to Lagos. My sponsors will always want me in Lagos, work with them to see how I was progressing.
Okay.
All right. And whenever we are resuming, right from Lagos, we move back to Kaduna, Zaria to be precise. And the training continues. At times for a year, I don't even see my family. But that wasn't an issue because it's all about having that vision that this is what I want to become. And you pursue it rigorously. You understand? That is on that, during the training. After the training, when I came to Lagos, yes, you meet colleagues of all sorts. They are there, some are there to encourage you on this job. And there are some, actually, they will want you to go through difficulties. But the key is this: you know why you're there. All right? So when you find out that the terrain is not that smooth, you calm down, walk with them, be friendly. And the truth about aviation is that I've come to understand when you're friendly and you are willing to learn, everybody opens up to you the secrets of aircraft maintenance. So it is challenging, but it boils down to your seriousness, eagerness to know and to study. And that gives you that edge you always need as an aircraft maintenance engineer. Thank
Well,
you.
well, that is very enlightening. Thank you very much,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Okay, so we'll jump right into our next question. Now, having worked with several, especially top, companies in the aviation industry, such as Air Nigeria and Aero Contractors and Asma Airline, we know you're currently with Allied Air. So,
Yes.
what do you think has contributed to your success throughout your journey? In these several airlines.
Thank you once again. And I will tell you that success don't come easy, but with cool-headedness, commitment, willingness to learn, ask questions when you don't know, then you begin to make that progression in aviation. The beauty of this industry is this: you don't know it all. Let's be frank with ourselves. I've been 17 years old in this industry. I will tell you, there are some tasks I have not come across, but someone that just started 2 years ago would have attempted that task. You understand? That is the way it is. And if it happens that I meet such a one, and the person tells me that, come on, I know this thing, oh, what do? I will come down and say, oh, please teach me. Teach me. Don't, if you just want to say because you're the boss, you've been there for years, I will tell you, you will spend 20 years in aviation, you won't know anything. So it's all about what? Being submissive, being calm and willing to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
I think my takeaway from here is throw your pride away, because I think this is something that how should I say it? How should I put this? Destroys a lot of people. We are not. I won't say, maybe I'll say this generation. We are not so calm to learn a lot of things. We want to accomplish so many things in this short span.
Yeah.
So from what we are, learning today, we are saying be patient, throw your pride away, and be eager to learn. Thank you.
That's the
So
key.
yeah, yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
All right. For the next question, this one is just something that we would use to say that this is what we are gathering if we get to aviation. So how many countries have you been to? How many countries have you traveled to in the course of your work? And how many aircraft type have you maintained? Since you're an aircraft maintenance engineer.
All right, let me take the questions the way they're coming.
Okay.
First, the countries I have gone to, or this work has exposed me to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've traveled to about 6 countries, 5 of them within Africa anyway.
Okay.
Then the 6th one will be outside. I think for the 6th one, I've gone to Turkey twice for sea check. Okay. Yes. Then, by reason of virtue of the work I'm doing, I know I have traveled to a place like Douala, Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
I've gone to Gabon. I've gone to Malabo. I've gone to the Democratic Republic of Congo. I've equally traveled to Kinshasa. That is just it for now. Then, regarding the aircrafts, we use the word I've type-rated on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, currently I have 4 type rating. That's I'm been exposed to 4 types of aircrafts. All right, and one of them is a Dash 8 Q300.
Okay.
The second one is Embraer 145, and the major one I've actually worked on hands-on, as in Boeing 737. 400, 500, 300, 400, 500 series. Then currently is an extension. We call it NG. Okay, Boeing 737 next generation. And that comprises 600, 700, 800, and 900 series. So in all, I have 4 ratings. Aircraft ratings.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. If you are going into aircraft engineering, I hope you are learning all these things. Please write them down so you don't forget. You have the expectations of maintaining these types of this type of aircraft.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Please, before we go on, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. This encourages us to do better, to invite more guests. Thank you. Please don't forget to do all of this, and you can also follow us on all social medias. There will be the links will be in the caption. Please don't forget to follow all social medias. Thank you. We love you. Now to our next question, sir. Back to you. Okay, this is it's something you've actually shared before, but let's just do it again. Now we know you studied mechanical engineering in school. So at what point did you say, oh, I think, because definitely I think mechanical engineering should be a large business. So at what point there should have been options, there should have been other options laid out for you then.
Yeah.
So what did you say, aircraft engineering is my thing. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, thank you very much. Your questions are really tactical. And the way they come, one should be prepared. Yes. Actually, I never dreamt of aircraft maintenance. To be frank with you, the plan was after my degree in National Youth Service, I'll proceed for my master's. That's the truth. And the opportunity came actually to go for mechatronics. Okay? That's my master's program. Somehow, towards the end, it didn't work as expected. All right? And I wasn't really happy. But notice everything you do in life, you do today, tomorrow will definitely pay. You will know. How do I mean? In the course of my NYSC, I remember back days then that I normally visit mechanic workshops. Let me tell you the truth. So it wasn't like I played my time during my NYSC. I'll just go there, stay with them, then after 1 or 2 hours, I'll just go home and rest. You understand? So it wasn't like classwork alone, mechanical, writing, no, but practically I was learning something. So by the time I finished my service and I attempted that mechatronics for my master's, it wasn't coming. Well, my elderly brother of blessed memory, I was just at home one day. He asked me if I would be interested in aircraft maintenance. I said, well, it's a branch of mechanical, not really a branch, but most of the things you do in mechanical will expose me to aircraft maintenance engineering. So I will gladly welcome it. He said, all right, since I'm interested, he will get me the form. So that was how the journey began into aircraft maintenance engineering. He bought the form. I went. It's a fine story, my dear. After the exam, I was about coming home. They called me back that my performance was okay in that interview. And they were going to give me that admission that I shouldn't go home that day.
Wow.
Yeah, that the next day I should look for something. I told them I don't have any way. I didn't prepare. I'm going home. They said, no, we must give you. No, something happened in the course of the interview, I will tell you. Because when God is on your side, I'm not trying to say it was my skills, no. But in the course of that interview, it just happened that I will be seated, my colleagues will be there, a question will come. Twice the question came. We were about 6 there that faced the panel. They just couldn't. But by the time it gets to me, I will just quietly drop it. So it was like drawing everybody's attention. Who is this person? So the man that led the panel was like, tell him to wait. So I waited. The next day I wasn't given the letter and I wasn't happy, but he told me to go home, but that sure, I have been considered for that admission. All right? I said, okay, no problem. So by the time the letter came, I resumed school. In fact, I just see the wonders of God. 2 weeks into resumption, I was told that one of the companies that came for that interview was giving me scholarship.
Wow.
You understand? So
Yeah.
it was a seamless one for me because that gave me automatic employment. We'll come to that probably later.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was on like monthly stipends as a student. So everything worked good while there. So the journey wasn't straight to aircraft maintenance, but God in his kindness just changed the whole story. And by reason of preparedness, I flowed in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
You've all heard the story. See, nothing waits for you at home. You have to take the first step to,
Yeah.
prepare for everything. Everything in life comes with, you taking the first step. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
I'm learning a lot. I won't even lie. I
we're,
am
we're
learning a
all
lot.
learning.
All
All
right.
right.
So our next question. So you got into aviation, aircraft maintenance engineer. So on the first day at
Yeah.
work as a as an aircraft maintenance engineer, what was the first task you were given? And how did it go for you?
Okay. Well, it was really funny because this one, you are a fresher from school
Yeah.
and you are resuming. And like I said earlier, you have colleagues that are friendly and the ones that will not be friendly. But luckily for me, yes, the people I met on ground then, they were just out to encourage me. So the first thing they told me was, hey, go to that system. We have manuals there. Because in this industry, it is manual. You don't,
Okay.
yeah, that's the beauty of aviation. They don't want you to use your experience that I've done this work before, and as a result, I want to tackle it based on what I know. No. Before you go to the aircraft, you have to print out the manual. All right? So if there is a task to be accomplished, you know the chapter, we call it 88 chapter. Depending on where the task is coming from, you print it, take it straight to the aircraft. Then line by line, the task will guide you. I will tell you this. At the beginning, I told you that there is a regulation guiding us. If I told you, Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulation, that if you don't follow it, what happens? They can withdraw your license. Yes, the reason is this. When you are working and the regulatory body comes, that's the NCA. Once they come, they find you working without a manual, your manual. Behold, it's a big problem. All right? So the first task was getting used to the manual. If there is a task, they tell you this is where to go to, the chapter to go to, the sub-chapter, everything. You understand? And it's not something you get overnight, but you just need to sit down on the system, adapt to what you expect to know, and so that when you have that challenge, you know what to do. But somehow, straight to your question, I think the first challenge I had on the aircraft when I came back from school was a pneumatic problem. We have air leaks somewhere. And somehow, like I told you, because I've gone through the manuals and where to check, because the manual will tell you what to do. If there's a leak, do this, deactivate this, deactivate that. That's why I said, if you use your brain, as far without, there's a purpose, to guide against accident or incident while on the line, that manual guides you step by step. And I will tell you, and by reason of the fact that I got used to the manual already, and the manual guiding me on how to carry out the job, sincerely, that task was accomplished safely and perfectly.
This first I don't know much about the engineering department, so we are all learning. So you can hear that I'm not an engineer for today. We work with manuals. All right. Now there's something we do. Let me just gist you. There's this thing we do, Gen Z, we do get ready with me to go to work. So how is a typical get ready with me to go to work for you? Now, what do I mean? When you wake up in the morning, what time do you resume for work? What's the day-to-day activity as for you as an aircraft maintenance engineer?
Yeah. You see, when you are in this industry, you just develop this passion for the work. You love it. And because you are in love with this work, calls can come at that odd hour. Take it from me. Yeah, your resumption time can be 8 in the morning. But anything can happen. 11 midnight, you'll be called upon that there's a problem. And behold, because of the love for the work, the passion. Okay? So you don't really have that time, but be ready at all time. I think that's the Boy Scout motto. Be ready at all time. So as an aircraft maintenance engineer, the rule says be ready at all time because you can be called out to work. You understand me? So that is the nature of the work. And you love doing it. Anyway, we have more to talk.
All right. So when you are not when you are back from work, you're not an aircraft engineer, what's the first thing that comes to your mind to that helps you unwind? If you get home, that first thing that makes you rest, your hobby, what do you like to do?
Thank you very much for that question. There is a saying that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you definitely unwind. And for me, because of the demand in the office, I normally go out to play football. And if I'm not playing football, I'm watching live matches. That is the truth. And at times, I go swimming too. That's another hobby. I like swimming. Right from my school days in Zaria, my course mates so liked me because when we are doing it there, it was like family thing.
Okay.
Then added, I like reading when I'm not working. So these are the three hobbies I can give you for now.
All right.
Footballing, reading, and swimming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we are getting to know more about our engineer. So football, reading, and
Swimming.
swimming.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. So if I want to invite you to swim with me, we'll swim. All right. So our next question. This is just a frictional question. If you could travel back in time, would you still decide to be an aircraft maintenance engineer?
Well, thank you very much once again. I love engineering and I love maintenance. And it's something I would want to do over and over, given the opportunity. It is challenging, let's be frank. But the beauty about it is that there's every reason to think in aircraft maintenance. Yeah. When there's a snag, there's a defect, even with the manual. I told you, we work with manual. There's still need for you to say, cool, the manual is saying this. Can I try the other way around? You find out that even outside the manual, your basic thought gives you the answer too. So it's something that will always keep you up thinking. So for me, anytime, any day, given the opportunity, I would want to still remain an aircraft maintenance engineer. Thank you very much.
That's real passion there.
Yeah, it is.
All right. For my next question.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the course of scripting and getting to understand the aviation industry as a whole, I realized that there is a shortage of aircraft maintenance engineers. Even myself, I've not really heard about this field much, and I realized that not many people have come to understand this industry, and that's the reason we're here today. So what do you think is, from you being, let's forget about what's on the internet now, you being with us, is there really a shortage of workers in this field?
Well, at a point, there was that gap difference, but it's been closed today. I'm in the field. I know, or I can tell you what I know. Yes, the problem is this. At a point, airlines stopped training personnel. I told you at the commencement of this interview that I got a scholarship. That was 17 years ago. Airlines come, they recruit, they interview you, train you, prepare you as you're coming, they absorb you. So like me, I didn't get to write application, to be frank with you. After I passed my license, they absorbed me automatically. So the free flow, all right? But 4 or 5 years after I was given that scholarship, airlines stopped training people. So there was a gap. Yes. So the gap was the old men were leaving, retiring. All right? We were just coming on board. No training, nothing. But I love Nigerians for their drive. Today, they no longer wait for airlines. People out of their pockets, they pay for their training. They go to Zaria. And to be frank with you, these days to be trained, you spend nothing less than about 3 million.
Wow.
During my time, it was 1 million. You're talking of 17 years back. So currently, it should be more than that 3 million I just mentioned. But that enlightenment is coming. People are being told the importance of aircraft maintenance, okay? So by reason of that awareness now, the younger generation are gradually coming into the industry, and the industry is picking up well.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So we understand now that people are now getting to join the industry. All right,
Yes.
thank you for that. Okay, so this is our final question on today's episode. I hope everyone has been enjoying the conversation so far. So this will be our final question before we close the today's episode, close for today's episode. All right, so what advice would you give, upcoming engineers in aircraft maintenance? What's the one advice you'd give them so we can close today?
Well, I will advise because whatever advice I'm giving at this point were things that helped me when I came into the industry fresh. That as a young engineer, learn to be serious. Seriousness is key, one. And you need to be focused. Know why you are in the industry
Okay.
and learn to respect your seniors. Whenever there is anything new that comes your way, try as much as possible to know it. I will tell you the reason I'm saying this. A task you see today, you may not see it in the next 7 years. When I say a task, a defect you are seeing today. In another 7 years, you may not come across it. You understand? So that opportunity that came, just grab it. Settle down, ask questions as the task is being tackled or a snag is being cleared. All right? Where you need a manual, go through the manual. In fact, the advice is get your manual ready as a beginner. After the work, go back to the manual, digest it. Right? If there's anything you didn't understand, the senior engineer that led that maintenance, go back to him or her and ask one or two questions in areas you did not understand. I will tell you, that engineer will gladly explain to you because the person knows you are serious.
Oh.
All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much for being on our show today.
Thank you.
From what we've learned so far, from what I've learned so far, this industry is a very friendly one. For you to meet your seniors and ask questions, it's a very friendly one. So we've all taken this advice: learn, be eager to learn, be patient, and throw your pride away. I would say throw your pride away. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you very much, sir, for being a part of this program. Thank you for your insights and your experience that, I'm very sure everyone learned from it. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We appreciate you for always coming to, listen to us. And if you enjoyed our conversation today, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment and a like, very important. Also follow us on our social medias in the caption below. That's a wrap. Mwah.